G'day and welcome back to my channel. Now 5 years ago, can you believe it, I started this Dragon Panther Ausf G, okay? It's an old Imperial series kit and I'd bought the upgrades, or I'd got them off Bernard actually. So I have magic tracks and I've got a metal barrel and I've got all the photo etch and all kinds of stuff to make it better. And I did get a lot done. I did. It's nearly there. It really is nearly there. The top's on loose. So the last video that I did 4 years ago, we did the magic tracks, and unfortunately after all those years sitting, and it was in a hot room on the farm, the tracks have got really taut, and it's going to be a bit, well, it's going to be a bit of a mission to get them to sit back down where they're supposed to. I think it's that one there. Yeah, I might be able to get away with it. Who knows? But I have got the metal barrel in now. I have done a whole lot of photo etch work on the turret. I have done photo etch on the back here, and I've also done a whole lot of photo etch in there. Just little things. My rule always is just do the photo etch that's going to improve things, and I'll discuss that in the video. And we shall add the tools on the side, which I've got a whole lot of little photo etch upgrades for. Does that sound interesting? Yeah? All right. Let's roll the music. So this is where I am today, and the last video we did 4 years ago, as I said, all we had done is really put the tracks on, and that was a big job in itself, which turned out to be one of my most successful videos. I think it's had the most number of views, that track link video. There you go. I was a victim of my own success. After that I thought, oh goodness me, how am I going to follow this up? And then I kept putting it off for 4 years. Anyhow, I have done all this extra work. I've added photo etch, as I said, in all these places. But how about we first get up to speed for those of you that hadn't seen that video 4 or 5 years ago, and let me tell you the process to getting to this point, and then how I've added the photo etch and where I've made decisions to use it and not to use it. For instance, here I've just gone with the plastic parts. They were much better. And a number of other instances, especially around the rear here, the plastic parts were better than the photo etch. It's true. You need to check. All right, let's go back in time. Here we go. Scooby-Doo dissolve. Ooh. So 5 years ago, I bought this kit off Bernard, and I knew it was an old Imperial one, so it would need some upgrades. And I managed to get some leftover magic tracks off him and a few other parts. Started with the wheels. They were really easy to do. Typical Dragon. It went together fairly well. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing wheels. I like the challenge of getting them round. Now those magic tracks, as I said, they were terrific. They were better than the kit's tracks, which were basically ones you'd have to cut off the sprue, clean up. Plus the magic tracks just seem to have a lot more detail. I used my patented method there of using the rule, which is in the video, which will be a link at the end of this video for you to look at. Then I decided I'll do some photo etch. And there was quite a lot to do. And I started adding the rear smokestacks and those cases and deciding which bits of photo etch I could cope with, which basically enhanced it. The rear tray I blacked out underneath where the photo etch little mesh screens were going to go, and that would help with painting later. So you didn't want to have plastic underneath there. You're never going to be able to reach in and paint. I tried building the front fender out of photo etch, but I didn't like it. I just didn't like that little piece. I thought the plastic piece was a lot better, so I went with that. Then the metal barrel, that went in perfectly. It fitted, no problems at all. But I didn't really get around to completing that till later. So that's where she was. That was about 4.5 years ago. That's as far as I got. So moving forward to now, I finally got the metal barrel completely joined together. CO glued all the parts in, put the tiny bits of photo etch little gaskets in, and she's starting to look very nice. So it was time to basically work on all the photo etch upgrades, and I started with the turret. Now I've added some upgrades to the turret, and only whimsy really. Well, I'd gone all the trouble to put the metal barrel in. It sort of seemed like I should add some brass to make it look prettier. There were brass parts to go at the back here for the hatch, but quite frankly, when I had a look, I went, they really don't add that much more detail, and there'd be so much work to put in. Oh, admittedly, it might give me a tiny micron thinner little rain shield there, or who cares. But there were little hinges that I liked, and there was a little, whatever that is, I don't know, and there was a little clip there, and they weren't in the original plastic model. So they were additional things I could add. And the hinges here also work nicely with this little piece that went over the mantlet. I don't know what that is. It might be like a little rain cover or something. There is a plastic part in the kit for that, which it's okay, and you'd probably get away with it. But folding a large rectangular piece using my folding tool is a breeze and easy. And I thought, oh, well, I'll come this far, I might as well put that in just for the fun of it, because that really was a fun little piece to add. But when I put it in, there was a little notch here, and this little bump wasn't there because it only exists if you use the plastic part. See, the notch is already built in to the plastic part. So that wasn't a real big problem. I just cut a bit of spare sprue to the size I needed and popped that in there. So that's added a bit to there, probably not much, but that was a fun thing to do. That's one case where photo etch was actually an enjoyable piece to put in, because folding big, long, straight pieces when you can actually get your hands around the brass is a joy. It's nice, it's easy, it's fun, and you made that part yourself, so you know it's a bit of satisfaction that I made that. So that was the turret. Now all the other plastic parts were good, the MG and all that fine, nothing needed upgrading there that I could see, and there really wasn't much to support it in the upgrade kit. So I'm happy with the level of upgrade that I've put into the turret. That's all it needs. Okay, now we need to move on to the things that I haven't done. This is the generic Eduard photo etch set for the Panther G late, right? It is specifically for Dragon Kit 6268. And normally with Dragon Kits, parts all get rejigged and reused in a whole series of kits for similar versions of that model. So you can basically buy any photo etch kit and it'll normally pretty well fit anything. But unfortunately, my kit is basically an old Imperial series one. So it's 9046, I think. Let me check. Yep, 9046. Therefore, the part numbers in here, when they say replace, you know, replace whatever it's called, number part 76 or whatever, with their part 12, well, it doesn't work. You've got to go hunting. But it's not that big a deal because, like here, Fenders. Fenders is Fenders, so don't worry about the numbers too much. But normally, everyone's very good. They'll tell you the plastic part number and they'll tell you how to replace it. Now, in this case, this plastic Fender, well, it's okay. I really don't see the problem with it. And this was the thing. I made up the photo etch one, and it was a lot of mucking around. It was a lot of mucking around. Probably break something, you know? And I had a look at it and thought, well, I can't get it smooth. It took forever to bloody make. It's going to be difficult to attach as well. There really wasn't any mounting points for me to add it on. And I just went, no, I'm not going to make another one of those. Forget it. I'll just put the plastic parts on and be done with it. I did, however, use the photo etch there for the clamps on the light, because in that instance it was worth doing. Sometimes the photo etch part, well, it's not that it's not good, they're still good, okay, but I couldn't get it to the standard I wanted that was better than the plastic part, and I really couldn't see the need for faffing about and doing all that work. So I basically then said, forget it, I'm not doing that bit. I'm not going to waste my time there at all, okay? And then I went on to these things. These are periscopes, and there's this tiny little frame to go around the periscopes. Sorry, too small for me. I don't know if I can find one here, but they are tiny little things. There they are. And as you can see, my little, that's only my, it's only my thumb, right? My thumb. That is just my index finger there. They are so small, there is no way. By the time I glued them on, they'd be big, blobby, they'd look ridiculous. There's no way I could file those flat. There's no way I'd get them on without the glue going everywhere. Pointless, absolutely pointless when, quite frankly, there is very little wrong with the periscopes that they give you. So in that case, again, no, I won't use the photo etch part. It's too small, I can't handle it. There'd be better modelers than me out there that could and would accomplish that, and they'll use it, and that's fine, that's good. But not for me, so I make the choice, I make the decision, I'm not going with that. And there were some hinges here, and I went, well, not hinges, well, sort of, it's like a little hingey thing goes on there. And again, I went, well, it's just so tiny, and I can't see that it adds much detail. All right, so in those instances, I go, forget it. It's just not worth it. I can't be bothered. Yes, I'll add a little bracket to the lamp because it does look a lot better. And I was able to at least clean up that part. I think that's, yeah, that's here. That did look a lot better using that. Obviously, putting in the photo etch on the ventilation system on the back tray, yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. And they're easy to put in. So yes, photo etch is perfect for doing that sort of stuff, okay? But we come here to these are the, well, they're not jerry cans, they're the storage compartments at the back of the tank. And they want you to replace all the hinges. Okay, all right. Well, this would then require taking off tiny, minute pieces of plastic and replacing them with tiny, minute little hinges. Let's see if I can find those hinges. So where are they? They're part 77. Oh, I don't know. They're going to be tiny little things. Oh, I can't even see them. I think they're like about this size. They're so small, I couldn't handle them. Even my wax pencil, by the time I picked it up with my wax pencil, I would be able to see them. The tip of the pencil, even sharpened, would obscure them. They are well beyond my skill level and my ability to even work with. It's just impossible. So I don't bother. I don't bother with that. I have a look at the part and go, that's fine. But here, this one, here's a case where I'm going, okay, this will work for me and this will give me something better. So here, I improved that plastic part by adding the photo etch straps and the little frame around it. And that is going to look so much nicer on the side of the vehicle. So I don't know if it goes on this side, but you know, it'll basically just sit somewhere like that. Which way does it go? Yep, it goes like that. So now with this little straps on, it is going to look 100% better. And in this case too, I had to make another decision. This is what you do with photo etch. They wanted you to remove, of course, all the straps, the plastic ones on there, but if you did, you've got all this wood grain. And I could not figure out for the life of me a way to get them all off without wrecking all that wood grain. Then I'd have to reinscribe it. And then you start to think, is this worth the effort? Am I really just wanking myself? It's pointless. So here I gently sanded and scraped them a little bit so those molded straps and brackets were a little flatter. And then I just put my photo etch ones over the top. And that's all I need to do. Now I've got a nice 3D effect and a much more realistic sort of set of, you know, how it would have been mounted and strapped to the tank. That works. There's photo etch doing what it should do, is improving the model. So I like that. That's good. Again, working our way through the back of the model, there are little photo etch brackets there. You might be able to see them. Tiny little ones. And they're holding the canisters on. That's the thing, you know, after all that, you can't really see it, can you? It's there, believe me, it's there. And those are these little parts here. So there's little canister brackets. I put those in, they were really easy to do. Lots of things, I did quite a bit of the work to the jack. I put those on, that was fine. But then it came to here, like attaching these minute, tiny chains to the, to basically the towing hooks, and oh, no. Again, no, sorry. No, I don't know, I can find that part again. Here we go, tiny little parts of chain and what have you. Look, if it's smaller than my finger, well, if it's smaller than I can see by the time I pick it up with my wax pencil, if you don't know what I'm talking about there, I have this little wax pencil and it is designed for picking up, might not pick this up because it's too heavy. Yeah, it is. If this was smaller, if we had a tiny little piece of photo etch, you just basically go tap and it picks up that tiny bit of photo etch. You take it across to your model, a little bit of bloody CA glue on your model, you tap and turn and away. I have a whole video, a number of videos showing how to use it, but I also have one in my How I Do photo etch. It is for an aircraft, but the principles are all the same. So if you want to see how the wax pencil is used, I may use it later on this video, you never know. I only use it these days if something is too small for me to hold it with basically some tweezers. Or, you know, if I'm worried it's going to go ping, the wax pencil solves all your pinging problems because it's not adding that spring that, you know, if you move, your part's going to fly away. You can use a wax pencil on plastic parts too. So small plastic parts I'll pick up and then I'll place on the model again using the wax pencil. It's great. You can also get them jeweler's pencils, I think they're called, or jeweler's gem setting device. I think they even call this a PE placement tool. It's a wax pencil. You can buy one at the makeup aisle. So moving through, yes, I did all the back there. I did the tray, and I did all the ventilation grills. Okay, terrific. Now I'll be moving on in this video to the side here where I've got to add the spare track links. Now this rack at the back of the tank, it holds the spare track links, and the plastic part doesn't seem too bad at first. You have a look at it and think, oh, that's okay. And then you try and actually hang the track links off it. Well, they don't actually hang, they awkwardly sit on there, and they, which means you're going to have to glue them on, which means I don't know how you're going to paint it. Well, it proves to be a little bit fiddly, and this is also not a very nice part. Now, if you make up the photo etch part, it's not that hard. It's an easy part to fabricate. It really is. There's really so little to it. Hanging your track links is as easy as that. And then this part, you naturally have it glued to your tank, and you'd be able to lift off those links, paint them independently, paint all this up, and put it all back together. And I like to do that because, I'm not very good at painting everything together on the model. All the tools, anything like that, I'll paint separately, and I'll only put things on at the last minute. So that, to me, is a better solution to use the photo etch. Building these little racks is so easy. You've got a great big long part in here, which is very easy to remove from the fret. It's basically not going to require any cleaning up because it's all hidden. So that's the beauty. You won't have to file it and sand it. It's all basically hidden once the track links go over the top. It has marks on it. You see those marks? And they show you where to put the little parts. And the little parts you'll need are quite tiny, but despite the fact that they are quite small, they're actually going to be fairly easy to put on. Which is, usually I'm whinging and complaining about tiny photo etch parts, but these ones don't present any problem whatsoever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, my rule is, can I see them? Can I see where to fold them? Okay, so there they all are. Now folding them is quite easy. I don't need my folding tool because there's really nothing to them. So what we need to do is, all you've got to really do is hold this thing in place so it doesn't flap around, roughly where you want to fold it, and get the knife under, and it'll just fold up on that line all by itself. And doing the other side, don't fold, just to hold it in place so it doesn't flop around, and it just wants to fold up on that thing. Once you've got them sort of up a little way, it's fairly easy then to adjust them, get them where they want. Okay, so that's one tiny little shape done, and it really wasn't that hard. And as I say, this big long piece here shows you very clearly where to put them. So, bit of CO glue between the lines there, and then just add part A to part B. I'll use my slow setting sadly, so I have a bit of time to wiggle it. And that's it. And now I'll just complete and I will do all of the rest of them. So our track links are now hung. They're going to be very easy to remove to paint, and they'll be fairly simple to put them back in there when we've finished all the painting. So that's quite a bit for this video. It's taken a bit longer than I thought, but that's okay. This means we can do another video. So we've completed in the photo etch the first 2 pages. So over the page we've got a whole lot of brackets and tools, and I think that's a video in itself, really, to go through the procedure there to create these brackets and to either strip tools down that have moulded on clasps and brackets on them, or to use clean tools, as I found in this smart kit that I had, another Dragon smart kit, and just simply put our clasps and our little clamps on. So that's next time. For now, that's it. We have got hanging spare track links, and that's what everyone needs. Well, everyone who's driving a Panther tank, in case you have a blowout in your tracks. Yes. All right, that's it. That's all I've got to say for this one. So until the next video, just like, comment, subscribe, just be nice about it, and I'll see you then. So it's goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry Houdini.